What's good with y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So I just want to give my reactions to what just took place at UFC 309, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. As you guys may know by now, Jon Jones defeated Stipe Miocic in the third round by TKO. The fight pretty much played out exactly how I thought it would play out. Stipe Miocic going into this fight, he's 42 years old. He's pretty much washed by this point. And Jon Jones went out there and dominated Stipe Miocic for a majority of the fight. And it looked like Jon Jones was actually going to get him out of there in the very first round. He threw Stipe down with this beautiful trip and then proceeded to drop some nasty elbows that caused a cut on Stipe. But Stipe used his toughness to survive the first round. And then the second round, Jon Jones was pretty much picking Stipe apart, slowly breaking him down, throwing some beautiful front kicks to the body, almost knocking Stipe out at one point, but Stipe was able to recover. And all this damage led to Stipe getting finished in the third round with a spinning body kick right to the rib cage. And pretty much Jon Jones followed up with a couple of more shots to the ground, and the fight was over. This, honestly, in my opinion, this was probably the best version of Jon Jones I've ever seen. I've watched every single Jon Jones fight. This was the sharpest I've ever seen Jon Jones. Granted that he is fighting a washed version of Stipe Miocic, but regardless of that, everything he did looked perfect. You could really tell that him training with Gordon Ryan and Gable Stevenson, it definitely improved his game by leaps and bounds. I mean, Jon Jones was already the best fighter in the world, but after this fight, he just looks even more unbeatable. And I truly believe there's not a single fighter in the UFC that can grapple with Jon Jones. I mean, it gets brought up all the time, but, Jon Jones' fight IQ is the highest I've ever seen. And in this fight, he clearly displayed that he's got the ability to hurt his opponents on the feet at heavyweight. So when you mix all three, highest fight IQ, best grappling in the heavyweight division, mixed with the best striking in the heavyweight division. I mean, who's a better striker than Jon Jones at heavyweight? Yeah, there might be guys who have more power than him, but there's not a single heavyweight that's more complete on the feet than Jon Jones. So this brings us to the post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan basically, he's trying to obviously congratulate Jon Jones and give Jon Jones his flowers. And then he starts to ask Jon Jones, what Jon Jones has planned for the future, if he wants to stick around, fight Alex Pereira for a massive super fight, or defend his belt against Tom Aspinall, who was the interim UFC heavyweight champion. And Jon Jones literally completely ignores Joe Rogan's question and decides to acknowledge Jesus Christ. At this point, when I was watching the fight, or watching the post-fight interview, I started laughing because I just thought it's funny that the camera was pointing towards Tom Aspinall, and Tom was hoping that, Jon Jones would acknowledge him, but Jon Jones just didn't care, he just didn't want to give Tom Aspinall a single bit of acknowledgement. And I just actually personally thought that was hilarious, just because Tom Aspinall's been trying so hard to get Jon Jones's attention. But he did mention that he would, sit down with Dana White and Hunter Campbell and, go through some negotiations to see what's next for Jon Jones. And this brings me to what I believe is, the two possibilities that we could see next for Jon Jones. Everyone wants to see Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall because obviously that is the toughest fight Jon Jones can really take right now. And Tom Aspinall does have the best chance of being Jon Jones out of any fighter. I do recognize that. But at the same time, for Jon Jones, a guy who's accomplished so much in the sport, he's regarded as the greatest of all time, I do believe he's earned the right to fight whoever he wants to. Honestly, fought everybody in the sport and beaten everybody's fought. Everyone's calling Jon Jones a duck. Everyone's saying he's scared of Tom Aspinall. I can assure you that, Jon Jones, he is the baddest man on the planet. He truly is. And I do believe he's not scared of any man walking the planet. Obviously, he does understand that Tom Aspinall is, a very risky fight for him. Tom Aspinall does have the possibility of ruining everything Jon Jones has built over the last 16 years. At the same time, I don't believe it's really worth it for Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall. If he fights Alex Pereira, not only will he get a bigger payday, him beating Alex Pereira will do more for his brand, will do more for his for his legacy in the long run than beating Tom Aspinall. And that's just a fact. What Alex Pereira has accomplished in the sport, a two-time UFC champion in two different weight classes. Alex Pereira is arguably the biggest active UFC star in the sport in terms of popularity. That will do more for Jon Jones than him fighting a guy like Tom Aspinall, who's arguably a tougher matchup. Because at least Alex Pereira, yeah, he might get knocked out, but he's more favored to beat Alex Pereira than he is Tom Aspinall. He'll get a bigger payday. It's a bigger fight. And it just makes more sense. If I'm Jon Jones, I would rather fight Alex Pereira than Tom Aspinall. But a lot of people, they don't like Jon Jones. They want to see him lose. They want to see, Tom Aspinall build his name off Jon Jones. Because the reality is that Tom Aspinall needs Jon Jones, but Jon Jones does not need Tom Aspinall. And that's why I truly believe Tom Aspinall is desperate to fight Jon Jones, because he needs a guy to beat at the level and caliber of Jon Jones to make himself a huge star in the sport. If you look at the heavyweight division, right, apart from Jon Jones, who is there to fight? There is literally no one in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division, without Jon Jones, is pretty much like dead. Jon Jones is the only superstar in the heavyweight division. Apart from Jon Jones, there's no one else Tom Aspinall can fight will make people interested enough to even care about it. Him fighting Tom Aspinall, the risk is not worth the reward. If he were to fight Alex Pereira, the risk is definitely worth the reward, because, like I said, a bigger fight, he'll likely get paid more for that fight. Jon Jones has the best resume in all of MMA. No one has a resume you can even compare to Jon Jones' resume. But at the end of the day, the UFC, they're trying to put on the biggest possible fight that they can. And you cannot tell me that Alex Pereira and Jon Jones is not the biggest fight in MMA currently. Although I'd much rather see Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall. That is the fight. Unless he vacates his belt, right? Unless he vacates his belt, then yeah, sure. He's not the champion anymore. He can fight Alex Pereira. But if he chooses to remain as the heavyweight champion, he has to fight Tom Aspinall. He has to. Absolutely. But like I said, what I believe Jon Jones will do, if he doesn't get the Alex Pereira fight, I just believe he'll just retire and go out on top. A lot of people dislike Jon Jones. A lot of people are preying on his downfall. They want to see Tom Aspinall, be the guy to dethrone him. But he doesn't want to even give the fans, the people that have been trolling him, hating on him, he doesn't even want to give them the opportunity to even see that possibly happening. So that's why I don't believe Jon Jones will even give Tom Aspinall the opportunity, even though I believe Jon Jones will beat Tom Aspinall if they do fight. That's pretty much it. That's going to be it for the video. I've pretty much covered everything. I haven't been as active on YouTube just because, I've been doing a lot of other things outside of YouTube, but I'll definitely be dropping way more content. So, just look forward to that. Appreciate you if you got this far into the video. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Jon Jones and if he can beat Tom Aspinall and all that stuff. But that's going to be it for the video. I'm out this hole.
Until he erase it. True to be tweaking like somebody laced him. I know some demons and proud they Haitian. Niggas ain't dropping no bodies, they fake. They can't get no passes if he wrote a statement. Can't get no passes if he wrote a statement.